Hi everyone, and welcome back to Water Contamination in Rural Areas. I'm Alexis Couch, and today I want you all to take a step back and look at all of the previous information that we have already provided you with and think about this. After taking a minute to consider everything that we have already provided you with, I just want to remind you guys that this is not just a local problem. It is actually, in fact, everywhere. Humans have established communities and flourished around sources of clean, drinkable water since the beginning of time. It's vital to our survival. However, now we live in a world where it has become a more frequent occurrence for water to become contaminated. The reasons for this occurrence are becoming a very broad spectrum. Water contamination not only damages our environment, but rapidly changes the way we live our daily lives. Unsafe water can kill more people each year than war and all other forms of violence combined. That's insane. Melissa Dinchark from NRDC states that less than 1% of the Earth's fresh water is actually accessible to us. Without actions, the challenges will only increase by 2050. Demand for fresh water is expected to be 1/3 greater than it is now. Recently, however, the main cause of our water contamination issue has fallen to the hands of the famous coal and mining industries, as you all know. We need water more than some may realize, whether it is to cook or to just clean ourselves. While there have been improvements to the mining practices in recent years, significant environmental risks remain. Something needs to change. If we were to continue at this rate, we will run out of our current resolutions because we cannot continue to rely on bottled water, as we should all know. We should be content and feel safe with using our town's main source of water instead of entering a state of crisis every time the mining and coal companies fail us and cause contamination to one of our main sources. Water contamination from the mining and coal industry is not something we can continue to ignore. It is a rising problem that needs action fast. It is fastly affecting not only our environment, but the way we live our everyday lives as well. We need water more than some may realize, whether it is to cook or to just clean ourselves. While there have been improvements to the mining practices in recent years, significant environmental risks remain. Negative impacts can vary from the sedimentation caused by poorly built roads during exploration through to the sediment, and disturbance of water during mining construction. Water pollution from mine waste rock and tailings may need to be managed for decades, if not centuries after closure. But the fact of it is, some mining sites aren't even being closed. They're just A major and well-known negative impact is talked about by Charles Rotkins in his article, Mining on Pollution Issues. One of the most well-known is acid mine drainage, otherwise known as AMD. AMD is essentially the process when large quantities of rock containing sulfide minerals are removed from an open pit or opened up in an underground mine. It reacts with water and oxygen to create sulfuric acid. Acid is carried off the mine site by rainwater or surface drainage and deposited into nearby streams, rivers, lakes, and groundwater. AMD severely degrades water quality and can even kill aquatic life and make water virtually unusable. This points out that it is not only just humans whose lives can be affected by water pollution, and that wildlife is being harmed as well. A possible solution to this reoccurring issue is to start at something easy and simple. I believe that if the areas where mining and coal industries are located are checked on frequently and regularly, then we would know in advance if they need an upkeep or maintenance before the disasters occur. Think about all of the sites out there that have just collected toxic waste over the years. It's unacceptable. The spills happen far too frequently for something such as this to go undone, which is what seems to be occurring. Chris Woodford from Explain That Stuff wrote an article titled Water Pollution, An Introduction to Causes, Effects, and Solutions, stated that our education to this topic is something that definitely needs to be improved, which is what we hope that we have done in all of our videos. Making people aware of the problem is the first step to solving it. If they do not fit the standards required to be top-notch, then they should not even be open, period, and that is something we should all be able to agree on. I think the best way to implement all of our ideas into our solution is to stay consistent with all of them. If you are inconsistent with implementing these, people will begin to think that it is just okay to ignore all of it and learn to somehow live with it, but it's unacceptable. We have been dealing with this issue for far too long to not slowly create a better environment. If you see anyone throwing away litter into any body of water, report it to the authorities. Help increase awareness by educating your children and increasing awareness within your community specifically. If you want change, be the change. There's a long way to go, but as we mature as a society and as our technologies progress, we can improve our methods of protecting our water supply.